Good morning. Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP. It's both indications, it's short-term wave count, and some market inefficiencies or kind of intriguing observations along with the Sigma coin. So lots going on. So we have indicator B indicating. So you can see we are now getting ready to pass through this 50-yard line along with this green line separating and this one bouncing and curving up off of the 50-yard line down here. All three of those are extremely bullish for what we're looking for, and I expect a continuation of the price action based off of these three in sync. This 50-yard line cross right here historically has been a impulsive breakout, so you can see as we pass through the 50-yard line, which is coming up in the next 3 days, we start having this impulse, and this was 3, 6, 9, 12 days, so basically 2 weeks. You can have price action of a 51% upside, right? You know, this was a 66% move to the upside based off of just a 2-week move. You can also even go back here, see that this, indicator popped off. And when we crossed the 50-yard line, we ended up having, another couple weeks. This was just this is a bounce, so that one we're not going to look at, but this was the big cross, right? There's your big cross that we haven't seen in a long time. This big cross ended up netting you, if you were able to take profits at the top, a 400% return, and it did it within 3, 6, 9, 12, and then I can't count from here. No, 15, 18, 21. So there's your 3 weeks, 25 days to get up there that fast. So definitely pretty impressive potential lined up here with the chart, and it could be as quickly as 2 to 3 weeks. We see a very different XRP, and I suspect that we're going to move up to the top of the range. So zooming in on our current price action, we have still a valid wave count. So we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're looking for the 5th. Now, this could be a rollover, so we could end up seeing that this does an ABC back up again into these inefficiencies here on the left. So inefficiencies are these areas where price action was too fast to the downside in this case, and we end up having a need to come back up into them to fill these gaps, so to speak. So you can see this first one at 24, another one at 28, there's this guy at 31, and then you have all the way up here at the top at 38. So we may only end up just doing an ABC back up again, which would be a 5, 3, 5 move, clear the inefficiencies, and then we roll over and head to the downside again. Or we don't have to, and we just keep on going. Now, the reason we think the rollover is in play, though, is this guy. There's your inefficiency to the downside. So we have that area right there where it wasn't sustainable because it was too quick. So it ends up coming back down into that, and it could be the case here. Now, this makes me suspect that there might be a front run of this area, and we don't get it. So we'll see. It doesn't have to close. Just something that's important to recognize on the radar. So good reaction here so far, right on top of the other region. And this would to be so far still looks like it could very well be an ABC up because of this cross right here that we did in the price action. But, time will tell. So we'll watch that. But if you're running in, in this position and you want to, you can put stop losses under here or under here and make it so that if we start losing price action, you're stopped out, and then you can look for a lower entry, down in this region at $1.90 or even lower. So, all right, so that's how we're checking out the current thing, but I don't personally believe that that's the case, but we will find out together simply because, again, our indicator is so freaking strong. All three, separation, crossing through the 50-yard line, and National Ice Cream Day, which is for Schwartz, is telling us that we're probably got something fun and adventurous happening here today. So we'll see. Now, jumping over to some intriguing stuff. This is the one that I was going over last night in Trench Warfare. And this is the fractal from 2017 shown in blue here. And here's our current price action as well for Bitcoin. So here's the price action that we grabbed. We just grabbed all this, and we carried it, and we pulled it over, didn't stretch it, didn't do anything, and just brought it over to this region. And you will note that in this breakdown scenario that we have here, you can see how most of the price action kind of hits its levels, right? So you can see that level's kind of hit right there at the bottom, and then you have this guy being hit, and then you kind of have that guy being hit, and then you have this guy. So if we go back and we look at the this move here from the top of the range before the breakdown, and we overlay this, you can see that even this price action and here all kind of line up. Now, what's intriguing and fascinating about this is you can see this volume profile increase massively, right? And that's an indicative view in my mind that Wall Street is here and they are playing their games, because this volume is so much higher. Like you can just see it's high here, but it's really, really high right there too. So now what this also shows me is that our levels have been hit, right? So you have this initial impulse and a smack back down, an impulse and a smack back down, a five-way move to the upside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have a flat structure where we end up sweeping up quickly and then rolling over. Okay, so there's your sweep up and then there's your rollover, and then there's your sweep up and your rollover, and it comes right back down to this area right here. So if we just kind of stick that right there, pretty much aligned with the top of the range and the bottom of the range, along with this guy sweeping down here and hitting that top range right there. A little bit more dramatic on that part. So this would actually tell us that if this is the case, you would see that we would end up doing kind of a consolidation, a bull flag here, then a breakout and a back test into this region right here. And into this breakout and back test would be where everyone would short this thing, and then bam, it just goes, right? So we could actually expect this to come in here, back test that region. You see it's a back test of this kind of line, which is that guy. So it'd be breakout, back test into here, and then away we go. And that would be what we would be looking at as far as a potential run for Bitcoin up and out over here. And everyone's like, yay. And then it's all sad, oh no. And then it's all, whoa, so lots of excitement still potentially. And this could take a while, especially because of how long this is drawn out in time. So with all the volume, because of the very calls and puts that the Wall Street uses to slow down price action, keep it more range bound. So, but a breakout does look like it's imminent, and this is telling us so far really what we're looking for is right on. So looking pretty bullish in my mind on this whole thing, and this is the fact that again it compares to price action in the past. I mean, really hitting all the levels. You can just see it again, hits all the levels through here. So nothing's broken, just length of time is what's broken, is it takes a lot longer now to do these things. So, all right, so that was really fascinating. And then during this window of time, so this area right here, this price action here, we had XRP overlaid. So into that same price action here, XRP pops up to the top of the range, goes flat, but into the first bull flag that we see for Bitcoin, before we even go up to this range, XRP has a run, and it goes pop right up to this area here, and it hits it right back up to the top of the range that it was before, and it does this consolidation right here. So imagine, and this is the part that's crazy, is that this whole thing right here could very well be the potential year that we've been running in. And this was what? This was September of 16 through March of 17. So this was roughly a similar length of time of we just sideways this whole thing. So this whole structure is this crap. And then we get this little bull flag thing here, and then we take off and we go parabolic for our next leg up, another consolidation, another leg up. So could be very, very fascinating, but the fact that this is similar to what XRP could do, where we have a great pop-off, that'd be amazing. So we will continue to watch, and I suspect that if we match this old price action for XRP, we could very well see a breakout very soon as it relates to the Bitcoin chart here. So, and then finally, Sigma Coin doing great, right? So we had this great impulse back test. Now we've moved off, and we're now moving right under with resistance here at this level for people. So we had an idea that we wanted to clear the 740. We got really close to it. So hopefully we can do a continuation through here, and we won't have to come back down. I don't see many efficiencies. There's this guy efficiency-wise and those. But if we do have a trend change and XRP is going to start going, this too will also run. So we will continue to monitor. 12 days a little overdone again. Let's see how our 3 days doing. 3 day is also looking like it's getting there. So we're going to probably have some cool off period, or at least some chop through here before we continue onward. But if we just go, that's also great too. So, all right, so that's the Sigma coin. And as we know, Sigma, just like XRP, can run very quickly. And so there's your massive impulse, and then there's your year-long consolidation. And now we're expecting another impulse to start manifesting for the Sigma coin. So Sigma's looking primed and ready. Lower time frames look like we're getting close to a potential continuation, hopefully, or a backtest requirement. But our RSIs are looking wonderful and towards the top of the range, but getting ready to go. And then you've got the interesting anomalous long extended flat that is played out for the same levels and areas that we've had in the past, along with XRP massively outperforming into that first bull flag that we see for Bitcoin, and our, oops, that's not the one we want. We want the, there we go. And short-term time frames, nothing's broken on the wave count, along with our indicators be it indicated. So, all right, guys, we'll check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.